And then I'm a helicopter pilot. So I went to go get my license renewed. You have to do a physical. And I come back and I keep getting these messages from the doctor saying, my assistant saying, doctor says he's got to talk to you. And I was like, I'm leaving for the south of France to an event. Tell him to just send a report. And I got home this one night and taped to my master bathroom bedroom door was a note from my assistant saying, you've got to call the doctor. He says it's an emergency. So what do you do? What do you feel like? Well, all my old fears just started flashing back. It's like, oh my God, I mean, I treat my body so great. How could I have cancer? But I do fly all the time. That's radiation. You know, your head goes crazy. At least mine did.
Yeah.
But
self-diagnosis.
But at that time, I had also found a center in my life. And so I found my center. It's like, okay, courageous person, you know, coward dies 1,000 deaths, courageous person once. Let me deal with it if it needs to be dealt with in the morning. I woke up, called, and the doc says to me, you have a tumor in your brain. I was like, what are you talking about? I came to you, I'm totally healthy. I'm healthy as a horse. And he said, no. He said, you have an enormous amount of growth hormones. So I did some tests. I said, how'd you notice the growth hormone? My hands are bigger than your head. I wear a size 16 shoe. I was 5'1", now I'm 6'7". I grew 10 inches in a year. And he goes, no, don't be funny. He goes, you need to hear me. This is serious. And he said, you really need to do this. And we'll do what? You got to come in for surgery. I was like, wait a second. I said, you're telling me you're going to cut me open? I said, what's the prognosis? He said, well, obviously you can die. Anytime you do surgery that's this complex. But he said, it's your pituitary gland. And he said, you're probably not going to have the same kind of energy anymore because it'll change your biochemistry. And I was like, well, I think I should get a second opinion. Who would you recommend? And he did not have a good bedside manner, and I didn't have a good bedside manner either. So I missed the bullet. I went to 5 other docs, so 7 in total. And the last doc told me what I wanted to hear, which was, Tony, you have a huge amount of growth hormone. But he goes, you literally do, I burn 11,300 calories in one day on stage, to give you an idea. I mean, this group followed me for 3 years that followed Olympic athletes and Tom Brady and people like that. And so they've measured everything in my body. And he goes, you're doing 2.5 marathons, basically, in calorie burn in a day, and you're doing 4 days in a row like that. He goes, your ability to recover is insane. He said, in 2 or 3 days, you recovered. He goes, that's coming from that growth hormone, I believe. And he said, so I know bodybuilders that are spending $1,200, a month to have what you're getting for free. So that was when I was 31. I'm 62. I've never had a problem since. I've measured it. But it really changed my outlook. And the first one made my outlook look like there is an answer. And the second one, my outlook was there's a price for certainty. And you got to be very careful what price you pay to be certain. You got to find that certainty within yourself, which I know is a lot of what you teach and I do as well, Jay.
Yeah, thank you for walking us through that, and especially going back a bit further as well. I think what I find fascinating about that, Tony, and a lot of the work you do, is why do we as humans often wait to see, not even see pain? You saw pain in someone else and you try to help solve it, and that got you working. But why is it that we often wait to experience pain before? Because you're giving us opportunities and access to thought and ideas and practices and medicine that can help us up our game of our health.
Yeah, massively.
Because often what we do is we choose to slow down. We choose to just go, okay, well, I'm just going to do less. And you and I think we both connect on the fact that actually giving and service and contribution and making an impact are such big needs that I was just like, I don't want to stop though. Like just as you said with the energy point, I don't want to not be able to do as much and give more.